Well, joining us now with an African perspective on President Obama's speech is VOA's House of Services Sahabo Imam Aliyu. Welcome to In Focus, Sahabo.
Thank you.
Welcome, Sahabo.
Thank you.
But before we start the discussion with you, we first want to play part of what Mr. Obama said while in Cairo.
Okay.
I've come here to Cairo to seek a new beginning between the United States and Muslims around the world, one based on mutual interest and mutual respect, and one based upon the truth that America and Islam are not exclusive and need not be in competition. Instead, they overlap and share common principles, principles of justice and progress, tolerance, and the dignity of all human beings.
Well, Sahabo, first of all, we'd like to ask you, first of all, as a Muslim for one, and of course as a journalist, when you heard President Obama's speech, what did you personally take away from it? And really, how significant is it that he made this speech in Cairo?
I think it is significant in the sense that I think there's a gulf between the United States and the so-called Muslim world. I mean, in the sense that the views are different. I mean, what you hear from the Muslim world or when you speak to the Muslim world and what you hear in America are quite different. So to find somebody trying to work to bridge the gap, that is very significant, because all along I think the problem is just a misunderstanding, just the mistrust, as Mr. Obama has indicated. And at the same time, there's just a gulf between the two worlds.
And talking about the Gulf, the president said that America and the Muslim world have mutual interests. Now, is this something easy to sell to the Muslim world, that there are mutual interests between these two entities?
Yes, he does need to sell that, because the problem has been that of perception over a period of time, and some of the problems which was mentioned by Mr. Obama. So some of the things that America is being blamed for in the past, some of the things that the Muslim world see as injustices from the American angle. This is something that need to be solved, because there's still some, people are still very skeptical whether America is really serious. I just finished speaking to somebody, a student from Nigeria in Cairo, who just told me that it's one thing for the president to say this, but it needs to be translated. They need to see it on the ground, because it's been a long period of time of promises, and yet in the long run, they just ended up just being speeches.
Now, President Obama himself said that it will take change. It will take a lot of time before change happens. And of course, he was specifically really addressing a lot of the extremists within the Islamic group.
Right.
When you see, like what happened yesterday, just a night before his address, a tape being released by Osama bin Laden, literally already castigating him for his efforts, what kind of resistance are we anticipating?
Well, like I said, the resistance will be there. Well, there are two angles to this. The Osama bin Laden angle is the fact that he feels probably been threatened that an American president is making an inroad in an area that is exclusive to him. This is a catchment area. This is an area where they can make propaganda and recruit people. So to have somebody making an inroad, somebody who is being viewed in a different lens compared to how his predecessor is being viewed, that is probably a threat to the Al-Qaeda people. But at the same time, also, the other angle is that the Muslims, like I said earlier, probably are also skeptical of what Mr. Obama is trying to undertake.
Now, Sahabo, the sticking issue, of course, one of the major sticking issues is the Israeli-Palestinian conflict.
Absolutely.
Did the president really reach the hearts of most in the Muslim world regarding the Palestinian issue?
Yes. Like I said, I was just talking to a student who I got off the phone with, and he did bring up this issue, the issue of the Arab-Israeli, and he's saying that all along America has always been playing, go ahead.
Yeah.
Right.
Quickly, just let's get a listen into another statement the president reiterated, what he said in Ankara some time back in April, and see what your reaction is to this. Let's play this.
In Ankara, I made clear that America is not and never will be at war with Islam. We will, however, relentlessly confront violent extremists who pose a grave threat to our security. Because we reject the same thing that people of all faiths reject: the killing of innocent men, women, and children. And it is my first duty as president to protect the American people.
Now, Sahabo, some people are saying, well, President Bush, the former president, said the same thing. America is not at war with Islam. What makes this statement coming from President Barack Obama somewhat different?
Well, the Muslims see probably his predecessor speaking from both ends. I mean, on one hand, he would say America is not fighting Islam, but the policies that you see in areas of engagement, say Afghanistan and Iraq, suggest to them otherwise. I was talking to somebody in Niger not too long ago who was saying to me that America says one thing, but look at the killing of women, men, and children who are innocent. Because his point was that if given a chance, he think Al-Qaeda is okay. I said, what makes it okay when you find people are planting bomb and killing innocent people? He said, well, America is also doing the same thing.
Sahabo, Imam, Aliyu of VOA's House of Service, we really appreciate you being here and sharing your insights with us.